watching The Chew, Orange Media Network's official news show. I'm Miles Sadler. Just a few years ago, when today's seniors were first years, accessible AI technology was thought of as a distant thing of the future. In the just 2.5 years since OpenAI released ChatGPT, AI and the implications of its recent advancements have become an, at times, controversial topic of discussion. Many companies have rushed to integrate generative text AI into their products. In response, ethical questions range in topic from academic integrity to creative plagiarism. Last week, OSU hosted its second annual AI Week, featuring a variety of lectures, panels, discussions, competitions, and other events surrounding technological advancements, practical applications, and ethical issues in the world of AI. During this week-long event, OSU encouraged students, faculty, employees, researchers, and locals to come participate in their multifaceted events either in person or virtually. Andrea Ballinger, the Vice Provost for University Information and Technology, expressed the week's necessity. Quote, "Educating the general public about AI is essential for informed decision-making and ensuring equitable access to technological advancements. A well-informed public can engage with emerging technologies responsibly, fostering a culture of innovation and trust." Andrea Ballinger, Vice Provost for the University of Information Technology. A dedicated committee of faculty, researchers, and students helped the week's several events, including lectures on advancements in AI and the potential effects on different industries. This included lectures on the ethics of the use of AI, teaching generative AI, AI tools for different industries, and a student hackathon hosted by Microsoft. Roughly a dozen other companies were involved in partnership, companies like NVIDIA, Intel, Dell, and Zoom. Most of the lectures were held in the C2CH Hill Alumni Center, with the majority having the option to join virtually. In one such lecture, Carol Milley, Assistant Dean of Students and Director of Student Community Standards, and Garrett Sims, Assistant Director of Student Community Standards, expressed the necessity of staying honest about your use of AI for your academic integrity.
We did a session on academic integrity and its connection to artificial intelligence. Certainly over the past 2 years, we've seen a lot of uses of AI within the classroom, and we want to support the ethical use of AI, ways that students can go about using AI to support their learning and development, and then also looking at ways to be able to support instructors in the classroom with supporting a culture of integrity.
We also sought to engage in a conversation with our participants online as well as here in the learning environment about ethical decision making and really encouraging participants to address AI through that lens.
With the increase of AI, it also has opened up more conversations about academic integrity on campus. I think sometimes we push academic integrity and academic misconduct to the side, but AI has really brought it to the surface again of, this is a conversation we need to have as an institution. Where is our integrity as an institution, both in the degrees that we're conferring, but the research we're engaging in? And being a part of AI Week really helps elevate that conversation, makes it relevant and essential to today's world.
Next up, changes may be coming to Corvallis' roads, and students' input might help shape them. The City of Corvallis' Safe Streets and Road, or SS4A project, is now underway in collaboration with Benton County. The project aims to propose a variety of safety changes to Corvallis' streets. Up until the beginning of the month, the city collected resident reports on any intersections or crossings where they felt unsafe or experienced, quote, near misses, whether on foot, bicycle, or public transit, or in cars. We spoke to Rory Rowan, Transportation Division Manager at Corvallis Public Works. According to Rowan, the SS4A project has seen a lot of public interest. An open house held in early April saw the largest attendance he's ever seen. He told us that the project's ultimate goal is to build on the city's 2019 Transportation Safety Action Plan. The existing plan, according to Rowan, quote, didn't necessarily look at safety system-wide or in a comprehensive way. The action plan may recommend a variety of actions, like new construction projects or changes to the planned projects. The project is taking a safe systems approach, which also examines elements like speed limit rules and traffic rule enforcement. According to Rowan, The project's ultimate aim is to reduce serious injuries and deaths resulting from traffic accidents, as opposed to minor fender benders. He also clarified that resulting projects will take time and that a project making it to the Safety Action Plan does not guarantee it will be approved. Beyond gathering public comments, the SS4A project is examining crash data from the state. Rowan emphasizes the importance of this element of the project, especially in regards to equitable city planning. If the SS4A is funded in part by the U.S. Department of Transportation through a grant program by the same name. According to Rowan, the federal government's grant reaches just over $600,000, which Corvallis is matching with about $100,000. We spoke to Trey Alazer, a second year studying food science who usually walks to campus from his home. He reports recently experiencing a near miss with a driver downtown. Though he described already feeling safe walking in Corvallis, he said he is happy to see the program take place, calling it a, quote, a good idea. Stick around. After the break, we take a look at Beaver sports and the weather.
Are you the person your grandparents call when their TV stops working?
No. Okay, so you want to hit the large red button. No, Mimo, that's the blue button. I can tell you're pressing the blue button.
Have you ever turned something off and then back on and it magically worked?
Do you ever look at someone using technology wrong and in your head you think, man, this person is not doing this right, but you kind of decide not to say anything because that could be rude, but it also would save that person so much time?
Have you ever dreamt of untangling cables?
Do batteries look like a tasty snack to you, and you tried to eat them once, but then you got sick, but after you recovered you did it again because deep down you knew that the batteries would give you so much energy? Do you feel a deep sense of purpose when you push a button?
If any of this applies to you, you may be entitled to financial compensation. As a student engineer at KBVR TV.
No experience required. An endless fountain of audiovisual knowledge awaits.
Chew. Welcome back to the Chew. Next up, we're going to take a look at the weather. Lily, is that spring weather finally here to stay?
Thank you so much, Miles. I think it's giving us some mixed signals, but spring is in full effect. Let's take a quick look at a video sent in from a Corvallis resident. It looks like that guy out in Lincoln City on the coast is really enjoying this spring weather. All right, and a live look for you here at the KBVR TV studios. As you can see, clear skies ahead. I would really take advantage of this. Head up to Mary's Peak, catch that sunset at 8:30. There's still time. There's always time. All right, and now we're going to take a look at our satellite imaging. As you can see, this cold front is coming in from the coast, pushing in these clouds across the state of Oregon. We have that wind coming in from Alaska, creating this cyclone. These storms should be staying offshore, but they're still pushing in some light clouds into the valley and across the state. All right, and now we're going to get into our 5-day forecast. Today, Thursday, as I said, clear skies. We have a high of 68, a low of 41. Like I said, take advantage of those clear skies. Head up to Mary's Peak. Don't forget a light jacket. And then tomorrow, Friday, those clouds are rolling in just a little bit. We have a high of 75 and a low of 41. Maybe go on a nice hike. I will be heading out into the McDonald Forest, personally my favorite. And then Saturday, we're going down into 71. Those clouds are still sticking around. Take a stroll through the Saturday market. pick up some flowers for Mother's Day. If you forgot, you're welcome. And we have a low of 41 again. Now, heading into Sunday, we are seeing a little bit of that rain. We have a low of 62. We have a high of 45. Maybe take mom out to a nice lunch downtown, maybe a movie in the afternoon as that sun starts to go down. We're going to see some rain, like I said. Don't forget those flowers for your mom. Get the flowers at the Saturday market for your mom. And now, heading into Monday, like we said, overcast all day. We're going to get down into 61 degrees. Not a huge difference from Saturday, but it's still going to be more overcast. Expect more consistent rain. And then Monday evening, another high of 45 degrees. And we're going to see more consistent rain. Again, some thunderstorms. Don't forget the jacket. All right, that is our 5-day forecast, May 8th to the 12th. I'm Lily Goodyear, your weather commentator for the Chew. As we get into the summer months, take a look at that fire watch. We've had a couple dry weeks. This weekend will be an exception, so our chance of fire is a little higher. The Willamette will be warming up the end of this month, heading into June and July. Take advantage of that. And like I said, those flowers for Mother's Day. Don't forget, text your mom, get her flowers. Stay cool, Corvallis. Back to you, Miles.
Thanks, Lily. And now, we bring it to our sports correspondents to talk recent events. Nick, Maggie, baseball is in full swing, and I hear we have some former Beavers in the NFL draft.
That's right, Miles. Hi, I'm Nick Munoz, and to my left is Maggie Aikens, and welcome to Sports Bites, where we give you all the latest and greatest news around the Corvallis, Oregon State Beavers sports world. But enough time wasting. Let's get right into it. Beaver baseball. The Beavs are resting up after a triumphant 3-1 Hawaii win. And although their Wednesday matchup was canceled due to flight delays, they've already found their way out to their next 3-game series in Des Moines, Iowa against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes are the Big Ten conference leaders right now. They are sitting at 10-2 at home, and the Beavers are 13-7 away.
And you know, it really comes down to what version of the Beavers could we see. The last time they were in Corvallis, an 0-4 sweeping to the University of Oregon Ducks. It really stinks considering they spent 3 days in Eugene, came up winless. The one time they were in Corvallis, they also lost that matchup. So I have a lot of questions about the pitching and, of course, the offense.
Oh, so do I. We can't be leaving those runners out on base.
No, and it really comes down to who will they also have pitching. I believe we could see the likes of Eric, Ethan, Dex, all around that sub 4.2 ER pitching average. We could definitely see that have a bigger implication on how they play, but you can only imagine that with only a few series left, they're thinking playoffs.
Oh, yes, we have to be thinking of playoffs. Right now, if we stay in the top 10 of the top 25, we will be considered to host a regional, and right now we are projected to host a regional in Corvallis.
Well, moving on to other sports news, in the NFL draft, 3 weeks to the day it officially began. We thought we'd hear more Beavers names get called out by the commissioner, but not as many as we expected. However, we still have some alumni finding their ways to some NFL rosters. To start off, Jermaine Terry II joining the New York Giants, a big tight end. He has a great deep ball aspect to him, and I think he could have an amazing moonball connection with Russell Wilson.
Oh my gosh, I agree. He is amazing. He's an amazing aspect to be bringing into this receiver room.
Absolutely. You got to want more, better deep threats than just Malik Neighbors. You can't always put the pressure on him. But staying on the East, in Baltimore, Maryland, the Ravens pick up Jared Christian Lichtenhan, a.k.a. the Tank, as he's known by his teammates. Big offensive tackle, great presence in the run game, can head up to the second level, hit his blocks. He will be an amazing piece for their offensive line, especially for depth collateral. Although Ronnie Stanley made the Pro Bowl last year at the left tackle position, of the last 2 seasons prior to 2024, he dealt with significant injury. So I think this is some great depth that I think a lot of Ravens fans will appreciate by the end of the year.
Yeah, he is ready. If he's been dealing with these injuries, he's been resting up, he's been taking that time to develop, and he is there.
Staying on the East Coast as well, we will then move over further inward to the Mile High Stadium, where we have the Denver Broncos and one of my favorites, Jaden Robinson, cornerback, who I think could have some great potential for Denver, considering that Riley Moss, one of their cornerbacks in their second year, I believe, allowed 67% completion percentage when targeted, over 747 receiving yards allowed in coverage, 4 touchdowns given up as well. I think that, especially with the first-round selection of Jahadi Barron, I think they want to improve that cornerback position. I think Robinson has a great chance of making the roster because of it.
I agree. He is an amazing grab.
I think he could be a very special tackler for that overall room. But Last but not least, a name I thought we were going to hear on day 3 easily, but sadly did not happen. Offensive guard Joshua Gray signing with the Atlanta Falcons. When you lose a center like Drew Dahlman, such a talented piece on the interior of their offensive line, you already have a top 5, top 10 young guard and Chris Lindstrom on the other side. I think Gray has day 1 upside. Pairing him next to Lindstrom, I think there is an amazing capability for him to be a day 1 starter and easily fix the interior of the offensive line.
Yeah, I think he can make this roster to start in his rookie season. He has been with the Beavers for a long time, and he has been taking that time to grow and develop, and he is there.
Well, that's all the time we have, and we'd like to also, of course, thank these Oregon State Beavers for their time here and would also like to give them a special shout out. However, I want to bring up one last thing before we send it away. The fact is that these Beavers have been here for a long time and they've seen a lot of this West Coast offense, or for some of them, they've run a different defense under Trent Bray. How well do you think these guys will have an opportunity to make the roster from what we've seen?
Honestly, we have seen Beavers make the roster or not make the roster. I think that these guys have had massive development. They have undergone a lot of different things in the college athletic world, and they just can grow in the NFL, and they are ready.
Absolutely. I think they have all a pretty good shot of being able to make the NFL roster, especially guys like Gray. We thought we were going to hear them called on draft night. I think he would have been a spectacular pickup for any team, but I think the Falcons really did a good job of bringing him in. They had a fantastic draft, nailing a lot of great guys for their defense, but in undrafted territory, they picked up Nick Nash out of San Jose State. He was a great receiver fit. And then, of course, Joshua Gray, he could be a great offensive guard fit. But back over to you for one last time here. What was your favorite signing? I'm interested. I think that Jaden Robinson was my favorite, but what about you?
My favorite signing was the New York Giants taking Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think seeing Shedeur Sanders fall down in the draft was pretty interesting, but to see the Giants, who could have been one of the guys that could have taken Sanders, they took Jackson Dart. That was a steal, I think.
And I think he could have an excellent connection with Jermaine Terry II. That would be a fantastic pickup for them overall. I mean, that deep ball connection could be electric. There's a great chance, as we saw in Ole Miss. I know he runs a lot of the run option, but you give him a deep option like Jermaine Terry II. And I like Theo Johnson. He's headed to his second year from Penn State, but when you have a guy like Jermaine Terry II, I think that can really open it up. But again, that's all the time we have here on Sports Bites. Nick Munoz, Maggie Aitkins, thank you so much. Back to you, Miles.
Thanks, Nick. And now, after the break, we sat down with Oregon State University's Pacific Islander Association to talk about their 3rd annual Pacifica Fest coming up this Saturday. Stick around.
Is this thing even on? Hello everybody, this is DJ Trainwreck. The show is Derailed, the only show where a man blows a train whistle in your ears.
Hi, this is DJ Rock Lobster and you're listening to Happy Hour.
This is DJ Dolomite and you're listening to The Subduction Zone.
Tune in to hear more at kbvrfm.orangemedianetwork.com or live on the air at 88.7. One thing I really love about my job is I get to work with a lot of different people and have a lot of fun with them.
Oh man, the bullpen, it's honestly my second home. It's always like something's going on here, it's always music playing, but at the same time, it's like that one big family feel here. So yeah, that's what the bullpen means to me.
It's a place where we like to foster a lot of our community, where you get to know people really well, a place to hang out.
What I like about OMED in general is just like, it's just like the community aspect.
It's just such a fun place to work. I always like to say it's the best job on campus.
It's like the one place like where like you could be like radio, work for a magazine publication, you can do everything and like it's kind of accepted and normalized. So yeah.
It's just so much fun. I can't stress that enough.
Why not work here? It's a really cool place to be.
Welcome back to the Chew. We now turn to Pasifika Fest, an upcoming event hosted by Oregon State University's Pacific Islander Association. The event will celebrate the many Pacific Islander cultures through a series of performances this Saturday. Just this morning, producer Danny Zahariev, down with Kiona Alvarez, social media coordinator for the Pacific Islander Association, and Eliana, a coordinator for the upcoming event. Take a look.
Okay. Kiona, Eliana, thank you both for being here. Really excited to have you, especially, I know on this busy day, it's your dress rehearsal, right?
Yes.
Wow, very exciting. So tell us a little bit about Pasifika Fest and what attendees can expect this year.
Okay, for this year's Pasifika Fest, our theme for this year is Echoes of Our Ancestors. We wanted to keep the theme more like a traditional type vibe where we, I guess like the different cultures that we represent, bring out more of the traditional parts of it. That means it's still instilled in us, like from those who have done it in the past generations. This year, Pasifika Fest, we have a lot to offer. There's a lot of dances. There's a bunch of vendors and like food.
We are representing 9 total islands.
Yes.
So that's probably one of our, or I think our most.
Yeah, like it's a pretty big number from compared to what we've done like in the past 2 years.
Yeah, we have exhibits, food, hopefully.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything you can think of. I know people are gonna sell jewelry.
Oh, photo booth.
Yes.
Good vibes, but overall we'll have good vibes there.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Well, so you guys have dress rehearsal today. Tell me a little bit about that. How's that going?
Ooh, I'm so anxious. I just think because there's so much.
There's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a lot of quick changes. Even though we have like fillers, like people talking or like raffle baskets and stuff in the middle. I think the like 2 minutes to change might possibly be a little bit scary.
Yeah, it might take me. I'm not gonna lie.
Especially for the people that have a lot of dances. I'm sorry, Ellie.
I shouldn't.
How many dances are you in?
Like 12.
12.
Okay, to be fair, we have told our dancers beforehand when we all started Pasifika, you know, quick changing is going to be a lot. So be mindful of how many dances you join. And then here I am as telling everyone, and then I'm doing it. So ain't that great? But I'm excited to see our dress rehearsal today. I can't wait to see all the dances with all their costumes on and just being able to see like the show come together. I'm a bit anxious because there's a lot going on today, but I think it's both excitement but also nervous type anxious. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, it sounds like a very grueling process, but hopefully it'll be worth it.
100%.
Yes, it's gonna be worth it.
I'm so excited. Yes.
So actually, I am curious about just the Pacific Islander Association in general. If someone at home were wanting to get involved with this, what other ways besides Pasifika Fest could they get involved with the club?
We have a bunch of general meetings. We like to do different other events like a talanoa, which talanoa just means to have a conversation, but we do it in a way where we have like
open dialogues.
Yeah, open dialogues.
So we'll have like set questions, and then it's mostly like, I don't know how to explain it, like deep conversation.
Yeah.
Conversation starters, and then
usually talk about
have food.
Yeah. Food is important.
Yes. Yeah. We also do like a lot of mental health and education meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did a resume workshop this past winter.
Yeah.
And then we also did like a wellness workshop in the fall. But we have a lot of those upcoming. But yeah, we'll probably have a lot more next year as well.
And to know more, check the Instagram.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of like the information on our Instagram or our Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about like your guys' personal involvement with the organization? What has it meant for you to see Pasifika Fest and just be a part of the Pacific Islander Association?
So last year was my first year here, so I feel like I was really looking for community, especially as a freshman, and I feel like the board did a great job of bringing people in, making sure that they felt seen, and this year I think both of us have taken on more of a role.
Yeah.
And so it's been great to have that community to fall back on, to be like, you're doing a good job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I feel like also having people outside of our community, like other or non-Pacific Islanders, being interested in learning more about the culture and learning and perpetuating it is really exciting to see. And like, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, give me life. Sorry.
I would have, it's probably the same thing for me, because I am also a sophomore, so coming in last year, my goal when coming up to Oregon State was really just to make a lot of Pacific Islander friends. You wouldn't think to do that in Corvallis, Oregon, or you wouldn't think that a lot of PIs would be in Corvallis, but there's quite a few of us. But I think just going into that club, they were already so welcoming, and it just makes you feel like home, like it's like a second family. And I think for a lot of Pacific Islanders, like family is very much important to us, or just like staying connected with within our community. So being able to be a part of PIA and then see how they are, it's like it feels like there's a lot of love around. And going into this board, I really wanted to do the same thing for others, and I would have to say that we are doing that. Like, we are showing the love. Like, I think our main thing is just to make sure people feel comfortable and welcomed when they come to our club, because since the PI community is not big, we know how it is to not be represented or feel like we matter. So we make sure that people who come in, PI or not, that they matter.
Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. Thank you both for showing up. I really enjoyed getting to talk to you guys today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Pasifika Fest takes place this Saturday from 2 to 7 p.m. Find more info on their Instagram at osu.pia. Thank you for watching The Chew. For the latest OSU news, follow The Chew live on Instagram. I'm Miles Sadler. Have a good night.